Hey guys, it's Justin again with episode 11 of the Start to Finish series. This is going to be a really quick video on, I say really quick, it's probably going to end up being forever like all of them, on reverse washing. Reverse washing is commonly a technique used to bring out detail in the eyes. Now these eyes are pre-molded in green. Typically your eyes are molded in clear, just clear, so that you can paint them whatever color you want, or you just slap the eye stickers over it. And a lot of people like to use these. Sometimes people will just cut them out. They'll paint the whole thing black and then cut them out and put the eyes over. Sometimes people will go in and just hand brush everything. Sometimes, whatever. There's a million different ways to do the eyes. But what I'm going to do is show you how a reverse wash works, and I'm actually going to show you another place you can use a reverse wash that you might not have thought of. So give me a second, we're going to cut and go to the paint table and we will get started. Okay, here we are at the painting table. Got my piece. I know you guys are already saying, Justin, that piece was green. Why is it black? Well, it's because I prepped it for paint. You don't have to paint it. If you wanted to leave it clear green, that's fine. You'll basically just skip the chroming step. This is black primer by Alclad with a layer of clear, or well, gloss black base over top. That's an enamel. And what that does is makes my metallics really shiny. So I need a really nice reflective black surface for this to work properly. Alternatively, I could have just thrown a little bit of this over top. It's just clear base over the primer. It probably would have done just as good. But I wanted to take the proper steps and just get that out of the way. So basically what we're going to do now is layer some metallics over it. Now this is where typically people will either lay down chrome, but I don't want a reflective shine, I want a bright shine. So we're going to use Alclad's Bright Silver Candy Base. I want to make sure that all my pigment's mixed up. Looks like there's still some at the bottom there. There's a lot down there. My God. There we go. Finally starting to break it out. Okay. Now, we're going to turn the PSI down to somewhere around 5. We want really low pressure for these high shine metallics like this. Almost nothing. And just like before in the metallics video, we're just going to mist this over really gently. I'm barely pulling back on the trigger at all. Just want to give it light coats. So there's one for you. If it focuses, kind of spotty, but it's only one layer. Two layers. I'm looking a little better. I think one more will be good to go. And there we go. Nice, super reflective. Not quite a mirror shine, but that's not what this paint does. So we're gonna let that dry for a little bit. We will come back and we'll do the next step. Alright, now that you've given this a little bit of time to dry, only takes, I'd say, at least 10 or 20 minutes. Let it sit, dry. You don't have to let it cure. If you let it cure, it'll help, but you don't have to. Next, we're going to lay down some clear green. This is just Mr. Color Clear Green. Still at really low pressure. And we're going to just slowly build up light coats of this. And the reason for that is because if you lay down a nice heavy coat of this, what's going to happen is you're going to get a lot of pooling. And then it's just going to look ugly and gross, and nobody wants that. So if you want a nice rich color, just slowly take your time, build up 3, 4, maybe 5 light coats of this until you get that rich color you're looking for, and then it's okay to stop. Just 2. Three. 4. I think we're gonna do one more, and that'll be good. And 5. Now we do one more, why not? Alright, so 6 ridiculously light coats. We got a nice metallic green. Looks even, looks good. I am very pleased with how this has come out. Now we're gonna let that dry and cure completely. Because if you don't let that dry and cure, then it's gonna be really easy to pull up in the next step, and nobody wants that. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so once things have dried, what I consider overnight, I just went to sleep. You're going to take and apply a layer of gloss black back over the piece. You don't have to use gloss black. It's actually probably recommended to use flat black, but it doesn't really matter. Just whichever you want to use. Basically, you just want a black over top of this, and you want it to be over the entire piece. So let me go ahead and do that. Probably need another layer. Better. Alright, so let me go back to the table and we'll discuss why we just did that. Alright, so we have gone through all the metallic process. If you don't want to, if you have like a clear green piece like this originally was, you can skip all the painting and just do a gloss black and skip straight to this step basically. Now, the reason this is called a reverse wash is because it works the same way as a wash. You apply an enamel paint over top of something, and then you'll wipe away anything on raised detail. It's the same as a wash, where the recessed detail still has all the paint in it, but it's for things where there's more, or I guess wider areas of recessed detail. So it's easier than going in and painting all the raised detail by hand. It's hard to explain, but it's very similar to a wash. So, same way as if we were doing a panel wash, we're going to clean this up with a Q-tip. This is a different kind of Q-tip. These are actually makeup applicators, I believe. I don't know where I got these, but I think somebody sent them to me, or maybe I bought them. I don't know. But we're going to put some lighter fluid on here. And we're just going to very slowly, very carefully kind of go with the eyes. And just the eyes. Let's see if I can. Trying to do this on the viewfinder is very difficult. And there you have it. Now, this isn't the only place where a reverse wash is acceptable. You might have to get creative in some instances, but another popular use of the reverse wash is on like the chest and the sleeves of the Sinanju and the Kshatriya and things like that. But I found another one that I wanted to test out. I haven't done this yet. I wanted to try it out on camera, so I'm going to use my same applicator just because there's a lot more space on this, I guess. The Zaku ammo clip, basically. And another Q-tip. Go ahead and do that real quick. Let's try and get it here. worked out pretty well, I think. Not the neatest. I'm sure I could go over that once or twice more and pick out the rest of that, but for demonstration purposes it works. Basically what I did is I went in after primer and I applied silver over the whole piece. I used a piece of blue tack to mask off the middle, and then I sprayed the rest with copper, and then I went over with the gloss black. And after the wash, which you just saw, that is the result. So it worked out a lot better than I expected, especially for doing it on film. So it just goes to show that you can use a reverse wash for a lot of different things, not just eyes and sleeves. You can use it for ammo and piping. It's a really good alternative to masking. I think that it just requires a little bit more planning in advance to get it to work properly sometimes. But that's not to say that it's a bad thing. I think planning ahead is generally a good idea. But there you go. So there's the reverse wash. Please, if you're gonna commit to something like this, I recommend doing this or manually painting in the eyes, or vice versa, painting in the black areas, as opposed to some other methods I've seen. Scraping paint off with a knife is not a good idea. It's actually kind of lazy, I think, but I guess to each their own. So that said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.